Hi guys, GreenPanda here and welcome back to one of my videos. Okay, so I have plans this week, this month actually, to make a bunch of speed paints and videos to have them working in the background as I talk and rant and see a bunch of story time crap or something to do this whole YouTube thing. And guess what? My storage was full. So that's me having the time of life, you know, charming and cutting a rug, and then all of a sudden my speed paint died on me. Okay, corrupted file, everything's gone. Hours of work gone. At least my drawing was saved and I posted on Instagram, yay. But other than that, my work and how I coloured it in, even though it was the most beautiful colouring I've ever done, is now gone forever in the wind and it's not coming back. So I got really mad, and so I had to take my whole weekend to delete things, to rejiggle things, to move things to my Google Drive, to a USB, get something on the USB to then delete it and then move it back and then delete it again. And you know what's the problem is that it wouldn't have been so bad if it didn't take so long. Okay, it took like an hour just to upload 500 pictures on Google Drive. An hour. Okay, it was a nightmare. So basically everything's sorted now. I have space again, but at that point everything's gone. It doesn't really matter at this point. And the thing is, I did have to sort my pictures out, like, to begin with anyway, and that's the worst bit, is that half the stuff I have is just pictures. It's just thousands of very small PNG or JPEG images. I can't believe that takes so much space compared to videos and programs and shit like that. But yeah, that's my life. The good news though is that I found all of my old art from 2008. Woohoo! So I thought, fuck it, let's just go through it and just respond to how I used to draw to now, and I thought it would be great to show you guys while I'm at it and make a video out of it. Since the storage thing kind of took away my life and patience, I thought here, it should give me something back. So here we go, let's start. So to this picture, it was a gift to a friend of mine. This was when I was first drawn, and it actually turned out pretty well given the fact it's me first drawn. At least my hands kind of look like hands, even though now that I realise it, is that her hand, I realise the finger is in the wrong place. I didn't notice that before back then, but I do know that now. But other than that, looking on this piece, it doesn't look that bad. Like, to the fact that I was drawn without a tablet. This was, it wasn't even a mouse. You know, some people have mouse and everything. Mine was a touchpad on my laptop. So I was technically drawn with my finger and thumb. Like, given the fact that I was doing that, I'm pretty proud of how, like, my art was. Given the fact that it was actually really fucking difficult to, like, draw with the pad like that. And colour-wise, it doesn't look that bad either. I think it's because I kept colour picking from an artist who was more better than me. Because the background doesn't look that great, but other than that, colour-wise, it looks okay. And for a background, it's not my strong point. So given the fact that it was my first time, I'm actually happy with how it turned out. But now that I'm older, my art's better, I think it looks terrible. Ooh, I liked this one. Okay, basically, this was my OC. Okay, I was blonde back then, and I liked that aesthetic, but the thing is, when it comes to like character design, especially when you redesign yourself or draw yourself as a character, I realize it's like, try to draw how you look, basically. Try to copy what you wear, your clothes style, because everything here wasn't exactly what I actually wore or what I looked like. So because of that, I felt like I couldn't really connect with this character as a personal OC, unlike the one I have now that I'm using as a self-reflective architect caricature and everything. So yeah, I called him Midori. She was pretty much an OC that I didn't really like. Okay, back then my art was a bit stiff. Okay, all the characters looked a bit leggy, and I gotta admit, like, the legs are way too straight. There's no variations and it's really bad. But given the fact that it was my first go without a tablet, I love it. But everything was so sharp, angular lines and all that stuff, and it's, yeah. Oh good god, what is her hands? What is that? Oh god, okay. I just have to say, if anyone's watching this who's a beginner artist, have faith that no matter how bad you think your art is, at least the hands don't look like that. Oh, it's my first Sonic OC. I was actually really proud of her outfit. I loved her star belt and everything, and her huge ass shorts. They're so big. And the shoes! I was actually very proud of the shoes, but given the fact that I took that from Furry Doll Maker, I was copying off the shoes basically, but I didn't trace, so that's the only thing I'm proud of with this, is the fact that when I was first drawn on a tablet, wait no, without a tablet on a mouse, at least I didn't trace, so thank God for that. First off, her tears, the blue. Why does she have blue tears when they're supposed to be see-through and clear? Because it's water. So that's an issue. Also, the neckline thing. I've seen some artists do that. Sometimes it's fine, sometimes it's not. And to me, I really hate the neckline thing because there's no need for it to be there. This is terrible. You know, there's no nice words about this. I hate the background. It's the fact that the window here is perfectly straight and parallel, but then the chair is like wonky and very weird, and it looks like it's coming from a complete different dimension. It's like Picasso's painting. I don't know what is happening with that background. And there's a random pink pebble bits there that I don't even know what that is. It's not even colored in properly because there's random dark bits on the floor. Okay, this is like a huge freaking improvement in a year. 2009, Jesus, wow, look how look, the legs aren't straight anymore, yay! But the background kind of took a turn for the worse. I could not draw backgrounds. That is a hideous looking background. And the little bubble things around it, that's supposed to be water, and you could tell kind of feel it on the waterfront there because it doesn't look like water, it just looks like random circles and stuff. Oh, here, it's Ambion! Yes, that's my vampire character I was talking about. Oh, here she was basically the whole Vampire Diaries ripoff. So, what was the story with her name? It turns out Ambion, Sweet Little Brother, was my favourite song. I was constantly listening to it all the time. I loved the name so much that I thought, yeah, that's gotta be her name. Her name's gotta be Ambion. And then just to make it more edgy, she has one different colour eye. Okay, and yeah. That happened, and the truth is though is that even though I do kind of like the character, I think she was just too much of a Mario C, and I couldn't exactly do much about her no matter what I wanted to do. Oh boy, this is my first chibi. I just realised looking at this now that I completely forgot to colour in the skull. It's just a line there that was supposed to be white along with everything else, and again with the stick legs. What was with me and the stick legs? It's so terrible. Oh, I definitely loved this one. Okay, this was when I started getting into Kingdom Hearts and I started making my own Kingdom Hearts OCs. No one has Kingdom Hearts OCs, or if they do, they're better than mine and they get more attention than mine do. Other than that though, it's the fact that it was my first drawing of someone lying down. The only thing I would change would be the hats. Because everyone knows that when you lie down, the hat falls off your head. So that's why it doesn't quite look like the lying down, because if the hats wasn't quite, you know, secured and everything, and it looked like they were flopping off and everything, it would probably look more like they were floating in the abyss. Ooh, okay, this one I liked a lot. I'm actually really happy with how it's turned out. The problem is, though, is that the pose and everything else wasn't totally original. Yeah, I do have a anime art book that has a bunch of art in it, and I took it from my first anime convention. So there's an art piece in there of two characters with interlocked hands surrounded by thorns. That's what those little things in the background. They were supposed to be thorns, and they're called Amy Rose, roses, surrounded by thorns. But the thing is, I forgot to draw the thorns in, so that happened. Basically, this was supposed to be an MS Paint coloration. So what happened is that I sketched the picture inside, then I put it in paint, and I lined out the whole thing. But then I put it back inside, and then I started colouring it. It was just very weird. Okay, other than that, I do love how this came out. Okay, so another Amy Rose drawing. The thing is, there was an animation of the Sonic X opening, but all the characters were human. It kind of had a panty and stocking type aesthetic animation to it. But the thing is, the video has gone missing. It's on my iPod somewhere, because I downloaded it and kept it, so I do know it exists. But the thing is, on YouTube, the animation has vanished. I don't know where it's gone. Okay, so don't say, speak, or hige no evil. Again, the tag in the bottom is a different username. That's because that is me, again. I am one and the same person. HeliumEX, Midori Girl, 35 or 36, and GreenPanda is one and the same person. Who knew? Other than that though, if I was a more confident artist, I would have made this into a print, because I do love how it turned out with Aggie unable to speak, with Coraline unable to see, and the only one I'm not really happy with is Norman, because even though I do like how I colored him in and look how the shapes where the face shapes are all like uniquely different, and I love that about this, but the thing is though is that he can hear and see ghosts, so I thought, oh yeah, that'll be great, but I think what I should have done instead was have ghosts as like sounds coming from his ears or something, or like little speech bubbles. Oh my god, I loved this one. Okay, you know, 2012, that makes so much sense. Okay, 2012 is when Rise of the Guardians came out, so that means I drew this in possibly October to December, because that's when it just came out and that was the year it was in, and like, it came out in November and everything. No, wait, no. Yeah, Rise of the Guardians came out in November, so I must have drawn this a bit after in December because it takes me a while to draw things. So basically, a bunch of people was making AUs of Jack Frost, who were drawing like him in different styles, making him dark and edgy, making him really cool, making him fluffy and everything. So I took Tufenia and I saw a bunch of things on Pinterest and I was like, I'm gonna make her into a hawk. Okay, so I kind of changed her outfit up, I made it really detailed, and I took a reference from something and I gave her a mask. And I really do love how she came out, but the problem was is that she was so detailed that I didn't know how to make like a final piece. Okay, this is like my first picture that I took from a photo reference, and so I was actually pretty proud with how it came out. I'm not happy with the hand though, I think I over detailed that, but other than that though, my background's definitely improved. Because like making it look blurry and everything, kind of like Santa's workshop, made it look like he was actually there. And this was based on Chris Pine, so I thought, here, Chris Pine voice acted Jack Frost, I'm going to make Jack Frost based on a photo from Chris Pine. It's going to be amazing. Oh my god, Soul System. Holy cow. Okay, you know what's funny is that it looks like it says evil, but that's actually just love backwards, and it's amazing. Okay, basically what this story was about, and I did have a story, it was supposed to be a video game, and it's where the main character gets his mind transported into a virtual reality that was like a dating reality. So it's like you go inside a virtual world to date someone, so it's like Ready Player One, but instead of playing games and like killing people, you date. But the problem is that this guy didn't realize that the person who was with her, this character, right, is that she wasn't supposed to be his soulmate. That's why it's called Soul System. It wasn't just dating, it was actually finding compatible people to be your soulmate. Science found people's soulmates. So she corrupted the system, hacked in, claimed she was a soulmate just to get to know him and everything, just to like steal everything that he had. And there was 3 endings where he would probably die from a heart attack, something shock or whatever from the system. So like all these like things happened to him, and you know, mental instability. Or he would have hacked himself and downloaded his whole entire person and being into the soul system, so he would become the new firewall and protect people from what happened to him. Anyway, I had like a whole idea. I was gonna make like a comic or game animation to it, and it kind of fizzled out and I didn't want to bother. And the fact is that this art piece is that her face looks like a Bratz doll and her hair looks like it was literally ripped off like Life is Strange, you know, when, or like a Telltale game animation thing. So yeah, it's like, hey, Telltale, if you still plan on making a comeback from video games, here's an idea. Do you fancy doing it? Yeah, I think I might write a short story based on this, but I think the whole idea will probably go into a fan fiction and not a comic, because I'm lazy and I can't be bothered. I have lots of ideas, but I don't have the motivation or the skill to actually, you know, do them. Which, ooh, 2013. This is where my art style could have went, but it didn't, because I'm not that gifted. Jack, I pretty much made him more edgy. I gave him a fur coat and jacket and everything, and Pitch was supposed to be like a high-low councilman or something. And them two were gonna be badass together and, you know, be psychotic and, you know, ruin the Guardians' lives and everything. It was amazing, but I just didn't get around to it. Other than that, I do love the high cheekbones and how I colored this in. I drew this picture. I do kind of like how the background came across. That's a first. The background is better than the person, which is weird because Elsa, her eyebrows is kind of scaring me and her eyes look so weird. But the thing is, that just shows how bad the art style in Frozen actually is, because when someone who's terrible at art recreates it and it looks horrifying, it means you didn't do a good job. So when Halloween came around, I wanted to draw all the characters in Halloween outfits. I did Merida in a witchy outfit, and I gotta say, how did it take me so long to figure out I might be bisexual? I mean, have you seen the titties? They look amazing! I actually was pretty happy with how they looked. I was so happy with how the boobs turned out. I was like, yes! Cool, sexy witch cleavage, woohoo! And then I did Hiccup, I love how people were drawing him as a dragon, and like he had freckles as reptile scales, and I thought that was so cute. And I really do love how he turned out. I wasn't happy with the outfit though. That's the only issue I have. But other than that, I do think he's adorable and love how he turned out. And then there was Rapunzel with the sugar skull face and everything, so she was like a skeleton person, everything. So I do love how she turned out, except for the lines on her neck. What was my problem? And the problem was Jack Frost. He was the one who was supposed to have a skeleton face, hence the reason why it looks like that. So then instead I just made him into a ghoulish snowman with black coal eyes and little wispy darkness thingy of him. Oh my god. Okay, basically this is just poetic, alright, because I was doing a speed paint with this picture in the past, okay? This exact one. And my speed paint from Ice Spring Cam that I was using completely honest, okay? Completely gone, died. So even though it looks horrifying, I was at the time proud of it, and I still am. I do love how I did her hair. Her hair looks gorgeous, okay? And I wanted to do an evil Fluttershy, and I think I did pretty great. It's just, I think it was a muzzle that was a bit too dark. It's the fact that I drew this on one layer. That's why it looks the way it does. I did this on one freaking layer on black, and that was it. So I was pretty proud with how it came out. It looked amazing, and the speed paint when I was recording it just died on me. This happens to me all the time, and people wonder why I have like low self-confidence in the art, and it's like, it's not because of anything else, it's because things feel on me. It's okay, traditional art kind of screws up my pictures, okay, digital art, space and everything, and it's just, everything just goes wrong. It's like, I am cursed. I am technology. Okay, I'm cursed with technology. That's all I'm gonna say. Jesus. I think I was having issues. The thing is, this is the perfect example of the whole lie of practice every day. The truth was is that I was drawn constantly, all the time, but I wasn't improving. It's because I wasn't actually using any fundamentals. I wasn't looking at tutorials. I just took a picture of something and I just drew it. I drew this in 2014. Is that when How to Train Your Dragon 2 came out? I don't know. Ooh, Gwenum. Okay, I really loved how she turned out, but the problem was is that nobody else did. I posted it online, happy as can be, thinking I'm gonna get so many views and notes and likes from this. And I only got like one person who faved it, and that was it. I wanted to cry because no one liked it on DeviantArt, and people love me on DeviantArt. Instagram, oof. Okay, this was when I started getting back into the swing of things. Okay, basically, since I had art depression, I had a thing it went over, because when I drew this picture, I finally felt found. I'm not singing Steven Universe, okay? What I meant to say is that art is like, your art journey is like you have got a backpack and you're just stumbling around in a forest. I was lost. I was in the deepest recesses of forest and I couldn't see a thing. So when I drew this picture, I finally felt like I was free from the forest. Like I finally had a clear picture. I finally felt like I was back in action. I finally figured that yes, I am now into art again. I know what I'm doing because this picture was so freaking amazing. Still not good at backgrounds, but given the fact of what it was great. Okay, so this picture is called You Found Me, and I feel like I've definitely improved in backgrounds, especially when it comes to the moon behind them. That's like glow and everything. It doesn't look like that weird thing I did before. And I really do love how I shaded pitch black, even though his face was giving me difficulties. I love his mouth. I love how happy he is, and the fact that tears are now, get this, see-through. Yay! I've improved with the tears. And I do love the golden streaks in his hair to make it look like a shine on the side, especially since he's a shade. And I love how Seraphina's, wait no, her name isn't Seraphina, it's actually Emily Jane, but the whole family called her Seraphina because we thought that was a better name for her. Anyway, I love how her hand turned out, even though I did use, well, I didn't exactly use a pose, but I did copy of a pose. And I do love how this turned out. I feel like this is one of my better pieces, and I freaking love it so much. It's just one of my favorites, and yeah, it's like, if I was gonna redraw this, I wouldn't change a goddamn thing, because I think it's amazing, and I freaking love it. Okay, this basically I drew is because my paint tool side kind of crapped on me. Something happened where I had to reinstall it and all my brushes and settings kind of disappeared, so I had to start again from scratch. And because of that, I had to redraw something, and I drew this, and this was just something to do with a tester to see, oh yeah, I'm just trying it out, seeing what works, seeing what's okay. And the truth is that this picture came out so freaking well. Like, once I was done, I had to take a step back and think, did I draw this? Holy cow, I freaking drew this. Like, her face looks amazing. Like, seriously, it looks like something someone else drew. And the way I shaded, like, the clothes, her mask especially, it looks so brilliant. And I'm so proud of how I drew it. And then, when I tried to draw Cat Noir with her, just to, you know, have a companion piece, he turned out just as well, and I was so happy. I was like, frick yeah! Like, sometimes when I try to draw something alongside something else and try to draw the same thing twice, it never works out for me. So the fact that it did makes me so happy. Oh, I love this one. Okay, basically, what I was gonna do... Oh, how many times have I said that? Basically. Okay, what I was gonna do is that I was going to take every single miraculously able character, and I was gonna have like a oval background with flowers in it. And so this was Cat Noir. He was the first one I started with, and he came out so well. So then I did poses for all the other characters, and it did not turn out so well. And it's kind of really sad. It made me want to cry, because this one was so freaking amazing. But then the others didn't turn out like I thought it was, and some of the poses looked a bit weird. And that's when I realised I'm going to have to start studying anatomy again. God damn it. Oh, good God, more with the vent. Jesus. Okay, yeah, again, this was my, this was basically what happened to me in that year, from school into college. Like, my music, I had, yeah, like, if you guys, right, if you can see, I have 3 devices here, right, like I'm holding in, like, for the caricature and everything. One's black, one's pink, and one's blue. The reason for that is that that was actually the colours of my phones, and I got all of them together recently, listened to all of them, and the one from the first picture here that has all this like music, it was all Edge, it was all Skillet, Limp Bizkit, Panic at the Disco, Fall Out Boy, like proper edgy, dark songs and everything, and yeah, basically, it was like really, really dark stuff. But then, like, my second phone, that was like a pink cover and everything, I had more light-hearted stuff. There was still some dark stuff in there, but there was more like normal pop music, normal good stuff. So in the third phone, I realised that my music tiers kind of reflected me as a person, so I wanted to draw that. So I really do love this picture. It's my favourite, even though no one else liked it, but I do love the background, the symbolism, like how everyone's looking at a phone, the way that the character is turning, looking down at something and then looking in a different direction, as if their whole journey is going in a different direction and they have found some improvement in their lives. And it kind of reflects how I felt like in my own journey for both art and real life. So yeah, this has to be my favourite piece. Oh, Tada Frost. Okay, I loved this one. Okay, I shipped Tadashi Hamada from Big Hero 6 with Jack Frost from Rise of the Guardians. I don't know why, but you know, there was a meme going around where people were drawing their OTPs and everything, and like the cliche couples that they preferred. So I kind of like the strong leader, big brother type character who goes for the wacky, crazy goofball character. Like, I don't know why, but I just love the two of them. And I just wanted a story where Tadashi, who died saving someone, like Jack Frost died saving his sister, and became a spirit himself, like a fire spirit. So then you got Fire Tadashi, who was supposed to be Sunfire in Big Hero 6, and you got Jack Frost, a Winter Elemental, and just shoved the two together. And the truth is that this picture, when I did it, there's so many mistakes, because for one thing, the water is too blue. It is disgusting. The background is, yeah, the pools, I feel like for someone who didn't have any parallel lines or even line work and like painter's sight, I think I did pretty well. And the fact that I actually drew this character without any poses or anything, I'm actually pretty proud with how the characters look. And look, I can actually now draw sideways profiles and everything now, so I'm so happy with how this turned out. Okay, hit the beach city. I did love how this turned out. In the background, I know you guys can't see it, but Lapis is like hitting a fastball, and she's trying to you know, completely annihilate Steven in the background as they're playing volleyball behind them. And so you have Amethyst and Garnet. The thing is, Garnet's colouring and Garnet's picture there looks so freaking amazing. She looks beautiful and perfect. And then you got freaking Amethyst in the background. I mean, no. Then you got freaking Amethyst right next to her who looks terrible. Like, her coloring and her shading just did not go out the way I wanted it to. And I kind of want to cry. So, yeah, she did not turn out how I wanted it to. She looks terrible and everything. But it's because I try to integrate my style and the Steven Universe style together to create this piece. Other than that though, I am actually pretty happy with how this picture turned out. Okay, I love this one so much. So what happened and what this is about for Voltron is that I took all the characters, and so many people online kept saying things like Lance McLean, or Lance from Voltron, Blue Paladin, is bisexual. And then you got Paige and everyone's like she's transgender or non-binary. So everyone had these ideas and headcanons. So I looked at Shiro and I was like, well, I think he's asexual because that's just the vibe I get from him, because he just doesn't seem interested in anyone. He's on his Todd, he's alone. Even his relationship with Adam in the end just seemed like he didn't really care about relationships. He was so like focused and single-minded on the things he wanted to do, and he didn't realize about relationships until after, so he was a bit oblivious. And so I was like, yeah, I had canon Shiro as asexual, and this was before Shiro came out as like, well, not Shiro, he's a cartoon character, but this was before the character was revealed to be gay. But even then, it's like you can still be asexual and gay at the same time, so why not both? So there's that. So yeah, I was pretty much doing these little picture things that's based on Alphonse, the artist and everything, and did these intricate things with this based in mind with the characters, with the colour schemes. And that's all it was. All I did was just take that colour schemes, thingy it down, and said, that's this flag, because it's the same colour as that. And I do love how Tadashi's came out. His came out so freaking well, but when I tried doing the others alongside his, theirs didn't look as good. Sad to see. So 2017, Detroit Become Human came out. Gotta say, I love the game. Okay, it's my favorite. It's not great, okay? I do understand criticisms. I do understand people out there probably think Detroit Become Human isn't that great of a movie. But to me, I freaking love it, okay? So I love Detroit Become Human because I am a slut for robots, okay? iRobot, Matrix, Ghost in the Shell, freaking anything to do with robots, I freaking love. So when Detroit Become Human came out, I was like, fuck yes, robots! So I was like so excited to like play this game, and even better, you could play free characters. So it's like, fuck yeah, free robots, woohoo! So yeah, so I'm playing this game. I love North and Simon, and I pretty much felt like this was their characters. Simon's just so done with everyone, while North has got like spoons magnetized to her face, and I thought it was brilliant. And so yeah, I kind of wanted to draw a bunch of like fan art for Detroit Become Human because it was new, it was great, and I love everything about it. Oh, this one's an instant fave. The thing is, if I could make a print of this or a bookmark, I totally would. I love how this turned out, and the best thing is that this picture wasn't planned. I was just practicing with John. I just did a face, and then I just did a hair, and then I was suddenly colouring it in and making it realistic because I was colouring the whole thing on one layer. So I was doing like overpainting, and then it just turned into Kara from Undertale, and then I added a race, and it turned out well. And then the thing that got me was having the hand out reaching for it to make it look realistic. I was really irritated by it and thought it wasn't going to turn out well, and it did. It's like from far away it looks really good and professional, and the fact is that I'm looking at it now and thinking, how the frick did I draw that? It's like I was possessed by a gifted god. But again, I got no instant gratification. But other than that, I couldn't really care less. And also the marker on the side, I think that's just, I think that's my marker as well. I definitely did draw these. Okay, I wouldn't be seeing that. That marker is probably mine, but it's backwards because I took that from Miraculous Ladybug when Marinette did a signature on her design that was supposed to look like a pattern, but it's actually her name upside down. So that way when people steal it, she'll know it because like her signature is on the whole thing. That's why it's flipped and doesn't say GreenPanda or Midori Girl. It looks backwards. So yeah. Oh, a Sadness piece. This was when Pixar's Inside Out came out, and when Sadness was in the trailer and she raised her hand to wave at you and then she just stopped and walked away. It made me want to cry, and I just wanted to grab her and hold her and put her in a blanket and tell her it'll be alright. Remember these girls if you guys are still paying attention? Yeah, I pretty much took all of them and thought, what would happen if I just redraw all these characters? And when I drew this, it looks so freaking amazing. It's just a shame that the characters are like Sonic OCs and they're not original, because this has to be the best thing I've ever drawn. The lighting is amazing, the posing, the characters jumping into the air. Okay, so I redrew Elsa from that first Elsa pick, and you can clearly see I had a lot of improvements. But at the same time, there was a few things that I could have done better, like having Elsa's hand like that looks a bit wrong. The other hand that's just randomly up there and everything, definitely. But colour wise and face wise, at least she looks much more better than the other Elsa from 2013. So I've definitely had a big, huge improvement. Like, it's just time will tell when I do another Elsa and see how far I've improved from back then. But at least her hair actually looks like Elsa's hair this time, because the last time it was so freaking annoying. So yes, Elsa's hair, I made you my bitch. Fuck yes. Alright, life is strange. The truth is, when I did this, I really freaking love this picture. It's my favourite. It turned out, but you know when you try to draw something and you're an artist and you have something in your head, and when you try to recreate the thing in your head, it never turns out the way you want it to? Well, this happened. This was recreated the way exactly as I thought it in my head. I wanted a picture as the main focus of Chloe and Rachel, and Chloe saying she found Rachel, and both of them were like embraced in dead grass with the hands clasped together, with Rachel with blood down her like chin because she's dying, and so is Chloe because she's been shot and they're both dead but they're together. Futuristic photos behind them with Max being there seeing the whole thing and crying her eyes out, with the moon and like with the sunset in the background and like shine on her. So everything turned out exactly the way I wanted it to. So I did a piece for LGBT Pride Month, and I'm actually pretty happy that I actually this was when everything was going great. This was when Steven Universe had Ruby and Sapphire getting married. This was when the teaser happened for season 8 and they confirmed Shiro was gay, and he had a fiance called Adam, and Keith was being a thing. So we thought that Shiro, they were going to get reincarnated and Adam was going to get married to Shiro in the end. We were so excited. And then you had Nathaniel with Nathaniel's the artist. It was the guy who wanted to work with him, who did the Diary of Miraculous Ladybug, was the writer, and the two kind of had a thing. And so we thought, what a day to be alive, because not only was this happening, also Bubblegum and Marceline kissed on Cartoon Network. So we felt really excited. If only we knew. Seriously, we did not know. We had so much hope for the future, so I was really sad. So I made this piece of these three things together combined because I was so freaking happy, and I drew all these characters and I was like, what a time to be alive. And yeah, this is one of my favorites and I freaking love it. And yeah. Okay, so it's been a while since I drew Tangled Rapunzel, huh? And I've totally improved when you compare the two. It's kind of freaky. I love how she turned out. I love the design, and the problem, well, it wasn't actually a problem, but what I realized is that this is not actually a planned piece. It was just me messing around, randomly drawing a picture and just freaking drawing Rapunzel, and I love how she turned out. And I don't know why, but I love her ear. Turns out some people have different like shaped ears, so the fact that my ears actually have improved a huge lot because of that is amazing. That's all my art from 2008 all the way to 2018, because you know, a full 10 years felt like it coming around. So that's all I have to say, all because my storage decided to take a shit on me. Honestly, I want to kill myself. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video and see you in the next one. Bye!